Why women ignore you when they're deeply in love. You're sitting alone. Her last message was 2 days ago. No response since. You replay the last moments you shared, reliving the lingering smile, the closeness, the palpable feeling that she cared. You knew it. So why the silence? Your mind whispers of waning interest, but your gut screams something far more profound. What if I told you her silence isn't rejection, but a test? What if her distance isn't punishment, but a signal? What if your reaction right now will either shatter her attraction or make it unbreakable? Comment below. I rise, not chase. Let that phrase be the anchor for your mindset throughout this journey. This video is for anyone who's ever wondered, why is she ignoring me if she said she cared? You're about to understand why women withdraw when they love you and what precisely you must do. This isn't about manipulation. It's about mastering self-presence and attraction. And if this resonates deeply, please support this channel. Not for me, but for the next man sitting in that same silence, questioning whether she loves him or not. First, understand that she feels you, even in silence. While you're consumed by her lack of response, agonizing over potential missteps, replaying every interaction like a broken record, she's in her own world, feeling, observing, sensing. You might perceive coldness, assume waning interest. But her silence speaks volumes, louder than any words ever could. A woman doesn't disconnect arbitrarily. She's deeply perceptive. She feels the shift in your energy, the burgeoning insecurity, the underlying neediness seeping into your words. And when that shift occurs, when your strength becomes contingent on her validation, she instinctively retreats. Not to hurt you, not to manipulate you, but as a natural response. This is where most men falter. They panic, react, text incessantly, call repeatedly, posting publicly to recapture her attention. Fear dictates their next move. But every action born of fear proves you're not the man she envisioned. She's not ignoring you out of hatred. She's assessing the strength she believed she saw, determining if it was genuine or merely a performance. She wants to see if you crumble under pressure, if your energy remains steady when hers withdraws. That silence isn't just silence. It's the battleground of attraction. The victor isn't the one who fights for her attention, but the one who doesn't need it. She senses your groundedness, your composure, and most critically, she senses when you're desperately trying to maintain proximity out of fear of loss. Attraction isn't built in comfort. It thrives in tension, in the unknown, in the test. So what's your response when she pulls away? Stop chasing. Stop questioning. Stop replaying conversations. Instead, cultivate your power. Hit the gym. Streamline your schedule. Master your time. Redouble your efforts on your goals. Women aren't drawn to your words. They're drawn to your gravitational pull. The quieter you become, the louder your energy speaks. When she withdraws, let her. When she ignores you, maintain your position. When she withholds validation, validate yourself. Because the moment she perceives your peace isn't dependent on her presence, her curiosity will ignite. This is inherent in nature. What flees becomes desirable. What clings repels. Each time you demonstrate unwavering composure in the face of her retreat, you become the man she initially perceived. The man with a purpose beyond her. The man at peace amidst chaos. The man who doesn't require her love to love himself. How do you pass this test? Begin with your presence. Quell the urge to text. Replace it with action. Immerse yourself so deeply in your life that her absence feels like silence, not loss. Demonstrate your strength not through messages, but through your indifference, showing her, not telling her, that you attract, not chase, that you pivot, not panic, that you build, not beg. While she's sensing your presence in silence, what she truly seeks is proof of your unshakable nature, not just in confidence, but in your very soul. Speak less, act with purpose. Let your absence resonate more powerfully than your neediness ever could. You're not losing her. You're being scrutinized by her emotional radar. Every action you take will either reveal you as another man in the crowd or as someone unlike any she's encountered. Ask yourself, are you the man who needs her response to feel worthy, or the man who becomes so powerful in her silence that she questions what she's lost by pulling away? Second, be the wall, not the wind. As she distances herself, observing silently, she's measuring your stability, not your words, not your efforts, but your resilience. The moment you react, you unravel the attraction she was initially drawn to. One-word replies elicit over-communication. Distance invites an avalanche of concern and validation. Testing boundaries results in retreat. You lose, not because she aims to destroy you, but because she wants to witness your mettle under pressure. A man reliant on constant attention for validation isn't someone she feels secure with. A man who becomes emotionally volatile when unanswered is someone she cannot trust emotionally. She needs to know that amidst the storm, you remain grounded, that when she spirals, you stand tall, that when she tests, you don't flinch. Being the wall isn't coldness, it's composure, not robotic, but rooted, unshakable, unmoved by temporary turmoil. Women are inherently emotional, not because of weakness, but because they feel deeply, intensely, and swiftly. But they will never surrender to a man who crumbles when their emotions shift. When she says, "I need space," she's not seeking a reaction. She's observing for one. Do you crumble and plead, or do you respect the space and redouble your efforts toward your own goals? When she's distant and cold, do you attempt to prove yourself, or do you remain present, grounded, and true to yourself? The wall isn't built by ignoring her. It's built by resisting control by her emotions. That's the essence. When her emotional ocean threatens to engulf your peace, do you hold the shoreline, or do you drown? Emotional self-control is power. The ability to pause before reacting, to breathe instead of panicking, to observe rather than obsessing. This distinguishes boys from men. It fosters a sense of security in her. Not the comfort of complacency, but the security of knowing she's safe. The kind of safety that allows her to release control and find solace in your presence. So what do? Stop asking her to regulate your emotions. Stop making her the center of your emotional universe. Stop relinquishing your power to remain in her good graces. Build your mission so strongly that her silence becomes background noise. Build your life so meaningfully that her moods don't disrupt your progress. Train your mind so thoroughly that you don't react, but respond with clarity and composure. She doesn't want indifference. She wants inevitability. She wants your presence to speak louder than please. She wants your silence to resonate like thunder, not retreat. Become that man, the wall, the unshakable one. And regardless of the storm's intensity, she will always return. Not because you chased, not because you proved anything, but because you showed her, without a single word, that you are the kind of man no storm can displace. In a world of emotional winds and unstable ground, that presence is both rare and unforgettable. Ask yourself, do you react to every shift in her energy, or are you so deeply grounded that her tests reveal not fear, but strength? Be the wall. She doesn't want to shake you. She wants to see if you're unshakable. Third, her chaos requires your calm. Her emotions may surge unexpectedly, overwhelming, unfiltered, but your role isn't to become another storm. It's to become her anchor. Her chaos doesn't need correction. It needs containment, not through force or control, but through presence. Authentic presence, the kind that doesn't demand explanation, doesn't fear the fire, but absorbs it without flinching. If you want her respect, stop reacting to her storms. Stop trying to fix her mood. Stop treating every emotional wave as a personal attack. The moment she senses her feelings can dismantle you, she loses trust, not in you, but in your ability to provide a stable presence amidst reality. She needs to feel something stronger than her emotional pull. And that's not your logic or words. It's your unruffled stillness. Most equate strength with aggression. True strength is restraint. Knowing when not to speak, when not to text, when not to explain simply because she's distant. When she spirals, a weak man tries to talk her out of it. A strong man listens, not to respond, but to observe, not to correct, but to contain. He understands her chaos isn't about him. She needs to feel something solid. Her chaos is a test. Her silence is a test. Her attitude is a test. Not because she's playing games, but because she needs to know. If I break down, will you break with me? If I withdraw, will you chase like a child or wait like a man? Your calm isn't just for you. It's the emotional ground she walks on. When that ground shakes, she questions everything. How do you maintain your calm? Discipline your reactions. Practice emotional patience. Shift from needing control to offering clarity. Stop trying to prove your worth and begin embodying it. She's not seeking perfection. She's seeking presence. She's not looking for answers. She's searching for energy. Energy that doesn't shift with hers. Energy that doesn't panic when unvalidated. That's the rare energy she craves in a world of reactive people. Want to be rare? Act rare. Don't chase when she distances. Don't demand when she resists. Don't escalate when she explodes. Observe, breathe, redirect. Invest that energy in your growth, your mission, your body, your mind, your finances, your relationships. The more you respond with peace, the more she'll perceive your true power, and not just her. You'll feel it too. You'll feel the strength of being the calm in someone else's storm, not by controlling her, but by mastering yourself. Ask yourself, do you escalate when she breaks down? Do you speak solely to fix her feelings? Do you feel victimized by her emotions? Or do you become the one person she can't shake? Because no matter how chaotic she becomes, you remain calm, composed, and completely centered in who you are. Her chaos isn't your enemy. It's your invitation to rise. Fourth, let her walk, but leave the door open. As she retreats, becoming more reserved, texting less, speaking more coldly, you feel it. That gut punch, that silence more impactful than any argument. Your instinct is to chase, to explain, to fix it. But the moment you pursue her out of desperation, you confirm what she hopes not to see. That your confidence is conditional on her approval, that your power is artificial, a facade maintained by her attention. Once that mask slips, once she sees the man she was attracted to can't stand alone, everything changes. You weren't meant to trap her. You were meant to be the kind of man who could let her go while still holding space for her return. A woman doesn't need a clinging man. She needs a man who chooses her without needing her. So, when she says she needs time, give it. When she expresses uncertainty, let her be. When she creates distance, maintain yours with dignity, not as a tactic, but as truth. The truth that your life doesn't pause when someone withdraws. The truth that your identity isn't tied to her current feelings. The truth that your worth doesn't diminish because she doesn't respond. To be irreplaceable, become unforgettable in your absence. While other men flood her inbox, suffocate her space, and try to recapture what's fading, you do nothing but rise. You become sharper, stronger, more deeply entrenched in your path. Your silence becomes a statement. I don't chase love, I attract it, but I never beg for it. Let her walk, not because you don't care, but because you care enough about yourself not to lose yourself chasing someone else's clarity. Let her walk, because it's in the space you create that her mind will wander back. She'll remember your composure, your resilience, your refusal to diminish your value to win her presence. That memory will haunt her in the best way possible. She'll begin to question whether she left a man or a phase, and that distinction is everything. You don't need to close the door. You just need to stop trying to keep her inside. Leave it open, but let her walk. If what you shared was real, if she truly felt your presence, she won't forget it. She might test it. She might run from it, but she will feel it even in your absence, and that's what will draw her back. Not your words, not your gifts, not your efforts, but your dignified absence. That's the power of a man who doesn't chase. That's the gravity of a man who builds. That's the clarity of a man who can let her go, not to punish her, but to protect himself. Ask yourself, are you living a life she'd regret leaving? Are you growing while she's gone, or grieving what you can't control? Are you building a life so powerful that even if she never returns, you've still won? You don't lose a woman by letting her go. You lose her when your need for her overshadows your need to become who you were born to be. So let her walk, and while she's walking, keep building the life that will either bring her back better or prepare you for someone who never needs to leave to feel your worth. Fifth, stand still when she runs. As she drifts away, creating distance, responding less promptly or showing less warmth, the average man sees a call to action, to fix, to rush, to overcompensate. But it's not. It's a call to pause, to stand still. When she runs, she's not looking to be chased. She's looking to see if you remain grounded. Most men falter here. Their minds race. They reach out more, filling the silence with fear. They start proving themselves again, believing effort equals worth. But a woman doesn't want proof. She wants presence. And presence is felt in stillness, not performance. When she runs, you're being observed, watched for your reaction, your consistency, your strength. If your energy shifts because she's absent, you're not leading. You're following her emotional path. That diminishes her respect because deep down, she wants to feel your identity is rooted in something larger than her approval. The man who remains calm, consistent, and focused when she distances doesn't trigger fear. He triggers curiosity. She wonders why you didn't react, why you didn't chase, why you didn't panic. That wondering is the seed of renewed attraction. Women don't always consciously know what they're testing, but emotionally, they feel the truth. If your peace collapses the moment her energy changes, you were never peaceful. You were addicted to her attention. The man who stands still when she runs is rare because stillness requires self-trust. It requires a connection to something deeper than affection. Stillness means you don't engage in emotional ping-pong. You don't mirror her inconsistency. You don't follow her withdrawal. You remain centered. You remain authentic. That stability becomes magnetic. How do you master stillness? Focus on discipline. Create daily structure. Embrace discomfort intentionally. Stop living reactively and begin operating on purpose. Choose purpose over panic. Every time you feel the urge to respond emotionally to her distance, redirect, train, build, reflect, grow. Not for her, but for yourself. The version of you that needs validation from her is not the version that will lead. You must become the man who can navigate silence without fear, who can sit in uncertainty without breaking, who can wait, not passively, but powerfully. Because that stillness isn't weakness. It's a signal. It's energy. It's what sets you apart. She's not testing your love. She's testing your emotional leadership. Can you lead when she retreats? Can you provide space when she panics? Can you embody peace when she explodes? That's what her soul is yearning to find. If you flinch, you fail. If you react, you lose gravity. If you break, she questions everything. So stand still, let her run, and keep moving forward, not toward her, but toward your mission. Because if she's meant for you, she'll find her way back. Not to the man who chased her, but to the man who never stopped becoming more. Ask yourself, who are you when no one's watching? Who are you when someone you care about pulls away? Do you collapse, or do you rise even higher? Stand still, not in arrogance, but in assurance. Not in silence, but in strength. Let her run, and when she looks back, let her see a man unmoved, unbothered, and completely unshakable. Sixth, become a man she can't shake. As she tests your presence through silence, distance, hesitation, or emotional inconsistency, she's subconsciously assessing the firmness of your identity. Those who fail are the ones negotiating desire, explaining their worth, or trying to convince her they're good enough through emotional reactions. But she doesn't feel desire through comfort. She feels it through contrast, through tension, through your ability to remain untouchable when her energy shifts. To be the man who remains in her mind long after you've departed, stop managing her perception and start managing your own standards. Every time you feel her pulling back and you chase, you've already revealed your value depends on her attention. Once she senses that imbalance, once she knows your self-worth evaporates without her validation, she loses the very attraction that initially drew her in. A woman doesn't stay because you say the right things. She stays because you radiate unshakable power. She stays because your silence teaches her more than any emotional explanation ever could. When she withdraws and you start questioning why instead of rising, you become forgettable. But when you let go without chasing, when you elevate without begging, when you lead yourself instead of following her chaos, you become unforgettable. Not because of words, but because of energy, because of the depth of your rooted presence. She knows most men crumble when a woman becomes uncertain, but you're not most men. You're in a league of your own. She can't shake you because you've made peace with solitude. You've committed to your mission. You've built your life in a way that any woman who enters it feels fortunate, not entitled. That's the difference. A man she can shake loses himself when she walks away. A man she can't shake becomes more focused, more magnetic in her absence. She'll feel it while checking your posts, wondering why you're not chasing, while her phone remains silent, and she starts questioning if she misjudged your power. That's when the shift occurs. Her emotional testing becomes emotional confusion because you broke the cycle she's accustomed to. She's used to men folding, panicking, needing her more than their own path. But when you show her, without uttering a word, that you're different, she can't ignore it. She feels it in her heart, in the silence, in the absence of your need. In that moment, you go from one of many to the one who never leaves her thoughts, not because you tried harder, but because you became more. That's the man she can't shake. The man who navigates heartbreak and still leads, who loses her but gains power, who uses pain to sharpen his resolve instead of softening his standards. How do you become that man? Discipline your body, sharpen your mind, eliminate the excuses that keep you average, make silence your training ground, use rejection as fuel, transform her withdrawal into momentum. Every minute you used to waste texting her, invested in skill. Every ounce of energy you spent worrying, converted into progress. While she wonders why you didn't chase, you'll be too busy building a life she no longer deserves access to. You don't prove you're a high-value man by talking about it. You prove it by becoming undeniable, by creating a reality where she has to elevate to stand beside you. That's when you reverse the entire dynamic. That's when she starts questioning her silence. That's when her curiosity turns into obsession. And that's when you no longer need her to choose you, because you've already chosen the best version of yourself. The version no woman can replace because you weren't shaped by attention. You were forged in solitude. And nothing impacts more profoundly than a man who needed no one to become everything. She will ignore you even if she loves you, not to hurt you, but because she needs to know your strength runs deeper than skin deep. Because real love, real trust, real feminine surrender doesn't form in comfort. It forms in the fire of emotional uncertainty. You might think she's gone cold, that she's seeing someone else, that her silence means indifference. But sometimes silence isn't abandonment. It's assessment. She's watching, she's weighing, she's wondering, if I stop giving him everything, will he collapse? If I stop showing up like I did initially, will he chase like the others? Or will he stand tall, unmoved, like the man he claimed to be? When a woman loves deeply, she seeks a secure place to invest that love. However, security doesn't equate to subservience. It signifies strong leadership. She tests your emotional resilience not out of indifference, but from a desire to ascertain its strength, to ensure it's a safe haven for even deeper affection. Her ignoring you might be the ultimate test before complete devotion. But if you crumble, if you pursue her relentlessly, if you plead, if you succumb to panic, you've inadvertently answered her unspoken question. You've revealed that your self-worth is contingent upon her, not a reward earned through your own strength. Consider this. If you had a daughter, would you want her to entrust her heart to a man who requires constant reassurance? No. You'd want her with a man who remains steadfast, who doesn't plead, who possesses inner strength and doesn't need external validation. That's the reason she ignores you, to discern if you embody that kind of man. And if you do, she won't forget you. She won't drift away. She'll perceive your silence as a testament to your worth. And she'll return, not because you pursued her, but because you never abandoned yourself. That's what makes a man truly unforgettable. If every word resonated deeply with you, it's because it was intended to. Not because we know you personally, but because we've shared similar experiences. We've navigated those fiery trials, endured that agonizing silence, stared at our phones, questioned our self-worth when someone we loved withdrew, and rebuilt ourselves stronger from the ashes. Now it's your turn. But don't face this alone. Support this channel because it's more than just a voice. It's a reflection, a mirror showcasing the man you can become. When you support this message, you're not merely investing in content. You're investing in clarity. You're helping the next man struggling with confusion and despair to find a voice that resonates with him. You're bolstering a mission dedicated to restoring men's strength. So if this message affected you in any way, like, comment, and subscribe, but more importantly, embody these principles. Let this energy fuel your workouts, your job, your passions, and your self-discipline. Show the world the unwavering man who doesn't flinch. Comment below. I cultivate my strength in silence because while others crumble in that silence, you emerge stronger from it.